The return of Fallout New Vegas. I am so excited and pumped. Let's see.
Yeah, you read that title correctly. It looks like Fallout New Vegas may be about to get a new update in 2024. And in fact, this may not even be the only of the older Fallout games getting such an update. I have a feeling this is going to be very exciting for a lot of you. This all began earlier this week, as it was discovered that a new beta branch was added to Fallout New Vegas on Steam. So we could actually see that this was added.
Wait, what? Seriously? I was making the, oh my god, because this is what they do with the starfield? And they don't actually update anything. But yes, this is insane. Interesting.
Thanks to SteamDB. But to be clear, this is something being done by Bethesda or Steam, very likely Bethesda. Regular users can't access this, and here, SteamDB is just tracking the changes Bethesda is making to New Vegas. So okay, a beta branch is definitely pretty weird. Typically, this would be used for updates.
Dude, is it gonna be the shop? Is it just gonna be the shop? Because they're adding the shop to everything, okay? It's not just gonna be Skyrim, because you're an animal and you're still gonna do it and use it and play it because you have no backbone, obviously, Bethesda shill. And this is obviously all gonna happen to, you know, everything else. So, is Fallout New Vegas just getting a mod shop? Paid mod shop? Well, that's the Bethesda quality I have been accustomed to seeing, so would not technically not surprise me, but how about something better?
This is exactly how it's reflected when a Starfield update is uploaded and in testing, but beyond that, the beta was removed almost immediately and then re-uploaded all in the same day. It seems like somebody may have uploaded the wrong files on accident. And honestly, with SteamDB alone, there really isn't all that much to go off of here. But things become a lot more interesting as you can also see that Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition was just re-rated by Peggy, and this was published on February 29th, 2024.
Okay.
If you're not familiar, Peggy provides the rating for many of the countries in Europe, kind of like the ESRB in the US. So what is all of this? Are we actually getting a full-on New Vegas remaster out of nowhere? Unfortunately, a full remaster seems incredibly unlikely, and instead what I suspect we are seeing is...
I mean, yeah, that spazzing out just now was the Fallout experience. Okay, I've never actually encountered that bug in my games ever. And I have played Fallout New Vegas a lot because I love it. It's really good. It's a really good game. You should try it. It's gonna make Starfield look even worse. Yeah, that ironically is gonna make Starfield even look worse.
Is a new update for Fallout New Vegas and even some of the other Fallout games. And while it may not be a full-on remaster, this still can be very significant in both good ways and bad. But it seems pretty likely that all of this is happening right now because these new games will ship out as a part of the Fallout Special Anthology. Back in 2015, before Fallout 4 even released, Bethesda released the Fallout Anthology. This contained all of the mainline entries so far in this little mini-nuke. And a few weeks ago, they announced a new version of this, the Fallout Special Anthology. This time containing all of the games up to Fallout 76, and in place of physical slots for the game.
Up to, but not including Fallout 76. Dude, they should have just at least, like, added a code where you get some kind of special thing for Fallout 76 because... Oh no! A complete collection up to, including. Okay. Including 76. Yikes, that does not seem like something people would ever want. Imagine they start with 76 and they're like, ah yes, my life is now bad. I will never get this damage out of myself.
Games to sit, this would come with game codes provided on PC and the 7 special perk cards. As a part of this, Bethesda didn't really say anything new would be coming. It's not like they said, oh yeah, by the way, Fallout 3 New Vegas and Fallout 4 are also getting updates. But one of the notable parts about this new release is they very closely tied it to the TV show, as this whole thing's dropping on April 11th, the day before the Fallout TV show releases. And just the fact that we...
Oh yeah, the Vogue Fallout TV show. That's gonna be a disaster. Boys, I am putting all my money on the fact that this is gonna be shit. It ignores established lore. It doesn't do it. It's gonna be so bad. It's gonna be bad on every account. And Todd Howard even said, yeah, these people are making Fallout into something completely new. And it's canon. Deal with it. We're ruining it. We're destroying everything you liked about Fallout. Have fun, loser.
We are getting a new Fallout special anthology. Really explains the Peggy rating, at least to me. Back in 2015, Fallout 3 also had its Peggy rating updated for the Fallout anthology in Europe, so now New Vegas having the exact same thing occur does make a lot of sense. It's following the exact same sequence. Why Europe has to re-rate their games to release in this anthology, I don't actually know, but in 2015, Fallout 3 didn't receive a major update, so the Peggy rating alone doesn't confirm that New Vegas is getting a major update now. And to be honest, the real interesting part about all of this are some of these new SteamDB branches, because yes, there are several. As I begun to dig a bit further, I noticed that New Vegas wasn't the only game to get some interesting SteamDB changes. The new beta branch for New Vegas was uploaded just a few days ago, like I mentioned before, but all the way back in March of 2023, a new Purple Rain branch was uploaded for New Vegas. This was around for a couple of months before being removed at the end of
Purple Rain? What? Hello?
May. And they can name these branches anything, so I wouldn't read too much into that. But something else happened on March 14th, 2023. Fallout 4 also had
God, look at that. That's the gunplay of Fallout 3. And they're gonna remake it and keep the gunplay this bad.
Fallout
God, yes. People are gonna love it.
4 also had a beta branch uploaded, and just a little over 2 weeks after that, we also got the New Vegas 2 branch for Fallout 4. That seemed to end up being nothing, probably just a late April Fool's joke, because again, they could name these branches whatever they want, but even that still...
I mean, it looks like Bethesda has forgotten that it's not the 1st April always, but they are constantly making decisions like every day is 1st April. The worst Groundhog Day ever, I would argue.
Wasn't all, as also Fallout 3 joined the club, as on March 14th, that too got a beta branch of its own, and just like Fallout New Vegas, this was also removed at the end of...
I have talked about this, I honestly think this is nothing. This is just someone's being paid to do this, to pretend that Bethesda actually does something or cares about their stuff. I don't think anything's really happening here.
Of May. So with Fallout 4, things are fairly straightforward. It's been getting updates all through 2023. When that new beta branch was uploaded, things really kicked off, and we've seen regular activity on SteamDB for Fallout 4. And this has continued into 2024 with more daily updates. New Vegas and Fallout 3 initially started off on the same path, both getting new additions on March 14th that were removed on May 30th, but only New Vegas got a new branch with beta uploaded earlier this week. Fallout 3 has had no such change. And what I think actually is going on here is March 14th was the point where Bethesda internally decided to start working on these updates for some of the older games, likely all as a part of an initiative focused around the release.
There are still 200 people working on Starfield, keep that in mind. And there's still no minimap even for towns in that game. For something like Fallout 3 to be updated, they would probably need tens of thousands of people working 27 hours a day on this game. Tens of thousands of people, okay? And then they would probably not even make a worthwhile update. And honestly, I ask you the question, do you want Bethesda even to touch these old things? I mean, Fallout 3, the original one, is not the best game in my opinion, but at least it's playable and I kind of like it. But do you want the current iteration of Bethesda, losers, lunatics, self-righteous idiots, touching these games? Because I think they're going to obviously do the only thing they can do. Make it worse. And I'm not a fan of that.
Of the Fallout TV show. We just saw how big of a boost Cyberpunk 2077 got from Edgerunners, and Bethesda likely wants to recreate some of that success for their own games. So likely what we're seeing here is Bethesda is using Steam to...
You know what's the difference between the Fallout TV series that I haven't seen, you haven't seen, but I'm already just flat out calling shit because reasons? Versus Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Edgerunners was a super good show, okay? If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It was great, okay? From start to finish, mwah, perfect. Okay, that's it.
To QA test updates for Fallout 3, New Vegas, and Fallout 4. And I'm guessing each of these updates will drop for their respective games on April 11th, along with the special anthology overall. And of course, all of this to kick off the Fallout TV show, which will debut the following day. With Fallout 4, we know they're working on a next-gen version of this game, and by the sound of things, this is going to include some new free Creation Club content. So an update to the game itself will include bug fixes, some new 4K...
Why would the Creation Club be free? Question.
Okay, options, higher FPS, but also a free mini DLC, but that's all pretty straightforward. What's going on with New Vegas and potentially Fallout 3 is definitely a bit more curious. Fallout 3 feels like the weakest candidate for something actually happening update-wise. For Fallout 3, all we really have is this one upload around a year ago that was removed about 6 weeks later. Nothing else happened. We of course did have that—
I don't remember what this place is called, but I hated it.
Leaked Bethesda document that did show they had at least at one point plans for a Fallout 3 remaster, but even in that original document from 2020, it wasn't actually supposed to come out for several more years into the future. And if they were remastering Fallout 3, I highly doubt it would be a beta branch on Steam. It would be an entirely new entry on Steam so they could sell it to you. But especially when looking at New Vegas and potentially Fallout 3, I think what could be a somewhat realistic expectation is a nice 64-bit modernization for those games. If you played Fallout 3 and
it did like 5 damage, that's impressive.
Vegas recently, you probably recognize how much less stable they are compared to other modern titles. Even if you're using a ton of mods, there are simply hard limits imposed by the engine, largely as a result of being a 32-bit game. So natively, it can only use 4 GB of RAM, and then you have to use modded in workarounds to use more than that. But even still, they're workarounds, not a true solution. So potentially, Bethesda could be doing almost exactly what they did with Skyrim Special Edition here, taking New Vegas and Fallout 3 and giving them a light remaster, bringing them up to 64-bit, as well as giving them DirectX 12 upgrades, and this would still be pretty huge, giving you far more flexibility as far as RAM usage, a lot more flexibility as far as modding the game, and just in general.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I don't care about any of this. Literally, I don't care about any of that. Dude, if the FPS is a problem for Fallout New Vegas, then it sucks to suck, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I'm completely fine with it.
In general, you would probably notice far more stability. Just like we saw with Skyrim, people very rapidly moved to Skyrim Special Edition because it is a far more pleasant experience as far as modding goes compared to Skyrim Legendary Edition, which is 32-bit.
Yeah, I don't even know how many times I have played New Vegas, but the thing that I do know is I never played with mods. I actually know, that's a lie. I did download one mod for something, but because I had some kind of crashing issue, and the mod did not solve it. So there you go.
Of course, with Skyrim, they also introduced console modding, as well as a brand new storefront for paid mods.
Hell
and
yeah.
Bethesda literally just did that again a few months ago with Skyrim. As of right now, I've heard 0 rumors of creations coming to Fallout 3 or New Vegas, so that seems unlikely. I mean, as of right now, it's not even coming to Fallout 4, as far as I've heard. But a 64-bit New Vegas would still be very big. This would be a whole new world of stability for that game, and really just a lot more opportunity for modding. But this does, of course, come with one gigantic downside. If this were to happen, it would break a ton of the mods currently available for Fallout New Vegas. Of course, this is the consistent problem we run into with Fallout 4 and Skyrim, and likely Starfield one day, but it becomes a much larger problem for Fallout New Vegas because the modding scene's so old now. A lot of the authors have just moved on, so those mods will likely—
Dude, you know how I typically deal with Lanius? Drag myself up, get into a sniper position, don't even talk to him. There you go.
never get updates
He's
unless
just way too strong, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Lanius is just a beast.
they were open source and the community could update them. And when you look at Fallout 3, that problem is just exaggerated even further as that modding community is even older. Over the last couple of years particularly, New Vegas modding has been making major advancements. There's a new script extender as well as animation framework released, so we've been seeing a ton of new animations and really an animation revolution for the game, but also just other things like implementing some of the modern features from other Fallouts. And even just a couple of days ago, we got a giant new mod overhauling many of the underutilized locations in New Vegas, one of the biggest critiques with the game. And needless to say, a lot of that content would break.
I'm interested in that.
And need further updates to work on a potential new version. Even if it isn't a 64-bit upgrade, any kind of update would break a lot of this. And I would say
what you just saw happen to Lanius, starfield combat in a nutshell. If you're not stun locking someone and they're not constantly rolling on the ground like a helpless child, are you even playing the game? I don't know.
Any kind of update would break a lot of this. And I would say that's my speculation right now. Of course, this could end up being even smaller, like a singular new item addition related to the TV show or some kind of new quest, but I feel like it wouldn't be worth it to do something so small for Bethesda. And I think a 64-bit update, while still being speculation, is a lot more realistic. And we may be learning more about all of this even just this week. The fall TV show has seriously ramped up its teases this weekend, and it seems that they have quite a bit planned for the entirety of this week. So keep an eye on all of
at least she's good looking. I mean, she's not a 10 out of 10 or even close. She's like a... I think she's a solid 6.8 out of 10. I'm okay with this. I'd do it. But then again, I'm a man and, you know, I'd do a pile of dirt if it smiled at me.
Priority of this week, so keep an eye on all of that in case we get a surprise New Vegas or even Fallout 4 Next Gen news, or just get subscribed and I'll keep you up to date with everything that's going on.
Interesting. Anyway, that was Juicehead. Juicy Head! This was Quizzer saying, thanks for watching, subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.